have an interview.
We do.
This week
We're
we have
so
an
excited.
interview.
Ooh, look at those sexy people.
We have an interview with James and Ashley from Sex Uninterrupted.
Hey, now our listeners can see you. Yay. Welcome, James and Ashley.
Hello.
Hello.
We're
Thank
very
you for
excited.
having us.
Of course. We're very excited. So, James and Ashley are from Sex Uninterrupted.
That's right.
And
not only that, but they've hailed from Canada.
Ooh.
Yes.
From the Great White
North.
The Great White North.
I love
How chilly
that.
is it right now? I see you have a t-shirt, you have a nice little dress.
No,
We're inside, yes. We're inside our house. The exterior today was a little chilly.
Yeah.
How cold?
I guess since we're in Celsius, it was 32.
Ouch.
Fahrenheit.
32 Fahrenheit. Oh, Jesus, that's freezing.
That's warm for this time of year.
That's zero Celsius for us. Yeah, it was
Fuck
a good.
you.
Ow. Ouch.
Okay, so today, I think we got to a chilly 70 degrees
All right.
Fahrenheit.
I don't know what that is in Celsius.
I know, that's probably your summer weather, right? I was cold. I had Ugg boots and long pants, and I was chilly.
We're spoiled.
You'd be wearing a nice big parka here, and
Yeah. Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to let you guys talk, of course, but just so our listeners know, Sex and Uninterrupted is a blog about the lifestyle. And for those of you that don't know what the lifestyle is, you're going to find all kinds of stuff out about it. We talk about it on our show all the time, but I know not everyone is well-versed in it. So I thought we would talk to some people that have been in the lifestyle and actually write about it and give information out. So let's start with this. How did you guys get started off in the lifestyle?
Well, we both kind of got into it separately, I guess you could say. We were both quite sexual from a young age and experimented a lot and didn't really know that we were in the lifestyle, I guess you could say. I ended up getting introduced to it formally through a group of older swingers. And they kind of taught me the etiquette and more about the community feel of it, I guess you could say. And then when we met, I told Zach about it, and he wasn't very scared. And
Yeah, it was, for me, I started out actually not knowing what I was doing was actually part of the lifestyle. I didn't know that kind of what I was doing was kind of cruising the internet and kind of studying myself out to couples was part of the lifestyle, was part of swinging. And
well, explain that. I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, so I would look on the internet for couples that were interested in a single male that would like for them to come over and for different scenarios, scenes, sort of things. And I didn't understand that there was way more to this life than just coming over and kind of having sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I realized when we met, she introduced me more to the couple side of things, and I kind of started to realize what I was doing before was what we're doing now. So,
Together.
And now we get to do it together, which made it even easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of how we got into it.
Well, let me ask you this. Here in the States, we're pretty uptight about sex, I'd say as a general rule, just in our society. How is it in Canada?
It's
about the same.
It's about the same. We find that a lot of couples are interested in our lifestyle. It's they ask a lot of questions, and we always like to answer the questions because it is our lifestyle now. It is something that we've embraced.
Yes.
Are you open swingers?
To everyone but our parents, I think.
Like people at work, your casual friends, that kind of thing?
Hi, Mom.
Because they're listeners of Beans on Cracker.
Yeah, well, now they know.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. We don't know, but if they know, this is kind of, I guess, one of the scenarios that we've kind of come to that how do we explain that to people?
Okay.
Well, and that's sort of what we've come to with our blog, with sort of our lifestyle. We love talking about it.
Yeah. We like to educate people about it. It's not what people think it is.
I guess that leads me to the next question would be, what made you start the blog?
For me, it's...
And you're the writer? Ashley, you're the writer?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm the writer. For me, I think it's just mainly to educate people. I feel like especially women are kind of made to not embrace who they are sexually. And I think it's important for them to be aware of what they want and accept that and be able to communicate that to their partners. And that's kind of where I came in with the blog. Is it's important for women to have knowledge. Knowledge is power. And if you're knowledgeable about your fantasies, desires, whatnot, you're going to make the best decisions for yourself and the safest decisions too. You're not going to be off on creepyland.com hooking up with random strangers. You're going to actually know that there's communities focused on doing it a safe way.
And what do you think is the biggest misconception about people who are in the swinging lifestyle?
Oh, it goes from a broad range. I don't know if you've watched some TV. There's some TV shows out there that really paint a really negative picture.
Yeah.
Okay. We've seen a couple. I forget the names of them. Do you know? Go ahead.
I couldn't even tell you the names of them either because we tried to forget them as soon as And it's not that we reject some people's way of their look of it and their kind of view of it, but we view it very, very differently.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. We do this as a couple. We do this together.
Yeah.
This is something that we do together. And so once you get down to like the real misconception behind it is that it is not something that's normal. It's not normal. Right? Well, it's, I guess, taboo.
It's taboo.
I would say yes. It's a little taboo.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a big lifestyle community in your hometown?
Well, we live in a city of over 1 million people, so it's getting to be quite big.
I didn't know there were that many people in Canada.
Our city's got over 1 million, and they say roughly around 1% to 2% of people have experienced some sort of swinging in their lifestyle. So that gives us, 10 to 20,000 people?
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Lots of options.
And there's five clubs in Calgary too. So
okay.
I was going to ask how many clubs you guys had.
Yeah, it's not like the States is a lot bigger, definitely. There's a lot more.
We've obviously seen some of the parties that have been in the States and tried to make our way down there and try to make our dollar's not as strong now, so it doesn't make it as easy. But
have you guys ever traveled to an event?
We actually went to Jamaica.
Okay. Hedonism?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hedonism.
And we had a great time there.
Cool.
And great 7 days there, and then we also we're trying to plan our next one, which we're trying to make the either one in Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the one in Cancun?
Temptations or Desire.
Okay.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out which one we want to do.
Okay. Nice.
Do recommend big time that if you are going to go to a resort like that and you want a kind of like a full experience, to try to find a group to go with.
Yeah.
That is a big we planned our own, and we kind of caught the tail end of a big group, and then we kind of caught the slow season, and it was an experience, let's just say the least.
It's good advice, though, to actually bring your own party.
Yes.
It's good.
I like that.
I have a side question. I see that you guys are drinking. What are you guys drinking tonight?
I'm drinking vodka.
Nice.
Vodka tonic.
Vodka tonic.
Drinking a hot toddy.
Oh, because it's fucking cold up there.
Well, she was sick.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she's recovering.
Okay. Well, it's cold up there.
And it is cold.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They tell us all to get our flu shots because it's going to get colder.
Ow.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
ouch.
So did you guys just jump head first into the lifestyle as a couple, or did you ease yourself into it?
Well, it kind of depends on how you look at our relationship. We were friends with benefits for a while before we actually got into our relationship.
Okay.
So kind of talking about our sex life as friends made this really easy to transition into the lifestyle. So we kind of jumped right head in first. We had some experiences while we were friends that would be considered lifestyle-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had some accounts together, even as friends, looking for other couples and sort of things. So it kind of, it's been
as soon as we made the transition into being in a relationship, it made it a lot more fun and seamless, and it was like the cherry on the sundae, I think.
Nice.
We could actually talk about it more and be more, and know that at the end of the day, we still loved each other. And that was, yeah. I think I like it a lot more than friends with benefits. I think if you're friends with benefits and you're open and experimenting, definitely try
the
having a
relationship thing, because the connection we have is kind of like what we like to share.
Yeah.
And we like to look for couples that like to have that connection. So that makes it a lot easier to talk to and share the experiences that we've had. And obviously the talking about it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I think that one of the common misconceptions that I find is A, that swingers are more likely to cheat, and B, kind of a side, attached to that there's a lot of jealousy that would go on. So if you could address maybe those two issues, I think they're kind of related.
Cheating.
Cheating. See, now cheating, yes. I always come across this sort of scenario where cheating, it doesn't happen in the lifestyle because, for us, and it's because we have no reason to. We are doing things together.
I think that the graphic that you guys posted today was the couples that strayed together stayed together, right?
But it's not like we're straying anywhere. We don't stray further than the 10 feet inside of a bedroom anyways, but it's kind of, we share that sort of thing in that space, and there's no desire to go pursue anything else, because if I ever want something else or something different, I talk to her about it.
Yeah.
I communicate, and that's what we drive home, is that we talk about these things.
Definitely. And as for the jealousy, yes, there's always going to be jealousy. And I think being in the lifestyle pushes you to learn about yourself and how you handle yourself in situations. You could freak out about it and make everybody uncomfortable around you, or you guys could talk before and figure out a plan if it came to that. So whether that be a secret word, or you wait till afterwards and have a conversation, you have to start making the mature choices too. You can't just react. You can't just react. You have to respond, I think. There's a big difference. So there's a lot of growing up to do too. You can't just be young and immature and not talking.
Sure.
Then be explosive, and you will be jealous, and it won't be pretty. So,
and we've come into scenarios where each scenario is different, but there has been some jealousy on, not necessarily on our side, but on the other side, and it's kind of whoa. And we always do the main thing that talk about consent. And that's our biggest thing, is always ask questions, because let me tell you, we all like to talk about it.
Yes.
Now, I have a question. Have you guys ever gone to a party and then you're there, you're having a good time, and then you bump into somebody say from work, or childhood friend, your cousin, I don't know. Have you ever had that happen?
Yes.
Oh, is it awkward?
Absolutely. Multiple times for both of us.
Yeah. Work, people from high school.
You guys run in kinky crowds.
I'm like, I don't know, radar.
I came from a small town of 15,000 people, and how did I run into somebody?
It's in the water.
The city that I'm living in, that I went to high school with? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you, but it happens, and I think it's because it is becoming less of a taboo, and kind of more of, there are people doing this all over the place.
Sure.
And but not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
Not knowing what they're doing. Like if you're going out with your friends and you're going out with a couple that all the time, and there's flirting with the females or whatever, and there may be some touching or just flirting, that is technically still part of the lifestyle. Yeah. It is, it's still sort of a turn on for some people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
I guess as long as you do it as a team, then it's okay.
Yes.
That's what I think, right?
Well, I think as long as you're both okay with what you're doing. I know there's all different, all different types
Genres.
of swinging, I guess. There's some couples that will do it apart. And they're okay with that. And that's totally fine. So I think it comes down to whatever you're comfortable with as a couple and what your guidelines are. And one thing I've always heard from people in the lifestyle is if you break your guidelines, that's cheating. If you have a guideline that you only swing together and suddenly you're going off with someone else by yourself and not telling your spouse or your significant other, that's cheating. Would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we talk about it as rules and boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our rules are never meant to be broken.
Yeah.
So those are the rules that we've set up from pretty much day one of our relationship. Those are never meant to be broken. And then there are the boundaries. Now, the boundaries are sort of kind of set up just to protect one another.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's kind of also, there are, I guess, blurred lines in between there.
Yeah, situational.
So if you're in a club and something sort of happens, it's a situational thing that's like, it won't turn you off from the situation, but, might turn you on, I guess. But I guess kind of you play around with your boundaries, right? The boundaries are meant to be broken because you're learning more about yourself.
And you're going to grow. I mean, maybe you only like soft swapping to begin with, which soft swapping is no intercourse. And you like that for a year, and then a year passes and you're ready to have intercourse with a couple. I mean, those are your boundaries. Those can change.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And like one of our rules is that we never play apart.
Okay. That's good. And I think a lot of couples are like that.
Now, as an outsider, I'm just thinking, was your first experience together as a couple as like scary one, or was it pleasurable? Was it everything you expected and then some?
It was kind of everything that you described right there, all in one. This one scary, everything we thought about, everything we didn't think about. It was, and then as well, we also had scenarios and scenes when we weren't in our relationship.
Yeah.
So it kind of
The first time was easy when we were
when we were in a relationship. It was easy because we kind of just, as we said, we jumped right into it, and it was just very easy, but it was fun.
It was lots.
That's good.
But scary because it's kind of like a first date. It's like almost like a blind date, right?
Yes. That makes sense.
You've either met this person at an event, or you've met this person online, because you don't necessarily just walk into a regular bar and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm a swinger." What's your name?
Yeah.
It's kind of where you go to find the people is at the events, the clubs, the sort of situational situations where there will be an abundance of, I guess, lifestylers or swingers or whatever. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say that both of you look like very, quote, normal people. I think when a lot of people think of swingers, they think of like some, I don't know, 60-year-old
hippie
guy with like, beads around his neck and a bald head and just naked and, chasing women.
They are that out there.
But there's quote normal people too.
That's right.
Gosh, so many, like.
It could be your next door
You'd be
neighbor.
surprised.
It could be your next
You'd
door
be
neighbor.
surprised.
You never know. And it's the funny thing is that you'll never know unless you ask the questions. But then again, are you going to get an honest response? Because it depends on how you're going to react to those sort of situations.
Yeah, sure.
If you're going to react, because you can kind of tell if you start talking with somebody and they start, you kind of say like, "Hey, I'm interested in a different thing," and this person went. I was talking to somebody, and anyways, and she kind of went, "Monogamy or die," and I went,
Oh, wow.
"Oh,
Okay.
okay."
Good for you.
So, and I like to say, you know what? Everybody can do this. It is something that everybody can do. It's not for everybody.
Okay.
It's
I think
not
that's
for
great.
Everybody. Everybody can do it because as long as you talk about it, you can actually do this.
So
But not
communication is the key from what I'm hearing. Like that seems to be the theme in what you're saying.
I don't know how we can drive that home any harder. That is the one thing that definitely is the one thing we drive home is communication.
Yeah.
So you go to your first experience. So I'm a couple. I go to my first experience and it was absolutely horrible. Should I hold that in or should I tell my partner?
talk about it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like the kiss of death, right?
Right.
Well, and because again, when you're starting out in this sort of lifestyle, you have to go through experiences to find out what you don't like.
Okay.
What your rules become, what your boundaries become.
Sure.
So when you're kind of starting, you have to figure out and talk about the things that you need to talk about and figure those things out. Because again, you figure out your rules, your boundaries, but you have to experience the things that you have to experience, but you also have to talk about them.
Or see it too.
Yeah.
Even going to a club and seeing certain things like, ooh, I don't know if I'd be okay with you doing that. And, oh, I like that. I want to see you doing that next time. It's different.
It's different, right? Like you kind of got to go experience it and talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that's really a great way to kind of end it, that there are a lot of places that you can go if you're interested in the lifestyle, and nobody's going to bother you when you go. Beans and I have been to a lot of clubs.
Right.
A lot of, Cassidy is one of our sponsors, so we've been invited to a lot of places just to kind of check things out. Nobody bothers us. Nobody says, hey, let's go fuck. Nobody comes up and starts manhandling us.
And you've said it's less grabby than an actual club.
It seems less grabby. Yes. People are very respectful. So if it's something you just want to go, I'm curious. I want to see what's out there, see and be seen, voyeurism. It's a way to kind of see, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe it is. And it's a good way to kind of get your feet wet.
Well,
Do you agree?
I agree. 100%.
The best way to learn is go and talk about it. But again, if you ever find yourself in a scenario where you find out that the person is a swinger, ask questions. Because again, every lifestyler I've ever talked to that is in it for what it's like, for everything that it's worth, I guess, they love talking about it.
They do.
Love to.
They want to share.
They want to share.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And
some
educate.
people are situational, obviously. Some people, you know what I mean? Like some people have certain times where they can't talk about it, obviously. But at the same time, understanding where your situation is and being able to talk about those things. Like we've had friends ask us questions. We've had, right? And where we went down, when we went down to Jamaica, everybody asked us questions, how it was, what did we do? And a lot of the guys just kind of open their mouth and go, you did what?
How do I get involved in that? Now with that, if you do have a lot of questions, Sex Uninterrupted is a great place to go because they blog about it and their goal is to educate. So I want Ashley and James, I want to thank you for being here, and I want you to tell all our listeners and our viewers where they can find you. So if they do have questions, it's a great place to go for information. Can you tell us where they can find you?
It's sexuninterrupted.com. And I have an Instagram, which is sex.uninterrupted. And, oh my gosh.
You have a Facebook,
Twitter? Facebook.
A Pinterest.
Facebook is sex, uninterrupted.
We have them all written down somewhere, I swear.
We'll show the graphic for them. It's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. I didn't write those down.
And Twitter and a couple other ones. But
So if you go to sexuninterrupted.com, you have all kinds of information. I was kind of looking through there today. It looks like Ashley writes a lot of the stories. I thought that was interesting because I think it's just better coming from a female perspective. No offense, James, but I think certainly a man talking... I know, but a man talking about the lifestyle comes off as pervy for whatever reason. A female comes off as a little, more sensual.
And the funny thing is that actually I'd come to that kind of thing. It kind of comes to a bragging scenario for men.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of comes to this is what I have accomplished. Instead of what have we shared together. Instead of, you know what I mean? This is what I conquered instead of, what we're actually doing together.
Exactly. But I've read kind of just the about section and a couple of the articles, and Ashley, you just come off very personable and raw and open and honest, and I appreciate what you say. You have a wonderful way of writing, and I think that if any of our listeners or viewers are curious about or in the lifestyle, I think you have a lot of great information, and I just appreciate you being on our show and sharing that with our viewers and our listeners.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Email us.
What is your email? Let us know.
sex.uninterrupted@gmail.com.
Love
Yeah,
it.
send us some emails. We've had some questions in the last week, actually. We just hosted our first event, actually, an under 35 event here in our own city. So one of the first. So we're actually
That's
pretty proud of that.
great.
And
Congrats.
So there's a few things. If anybody has any more questions, we're trying to host one soon, maybe come December. So if anybody's interested in our city or in a nearby city that can travel here, that we are definitely open to talking about it. Come find us.
Maybe in the summertime.
Well,
if you're
not so cold as what
Come
you're
for
saying.
Stampede.
if you're ever down in Southern California, you're always welcome to join us at Beans or Cracker. So
If you ever want to
yes.
defrost a little bit in the winter time, just come over in December. It's beautiful. It's about 70 degrees.
It's a chilly 70 degrees
Yes.
Fahrenheit. I don't know what
Bring
that
your
is
shorts and
Celsius. I'm
t-shirts.
We're
sorry.
heading down to Denver at the end of November, so
Yes.
we'll see how the weather is a little further south, but it's not as far south as we'd like to go. But
All right. Well, thank you, Ashley and James. Thank you, Sex
Thank you.
Uninterrupted. And
Thanks,
we hope
guys.
to see you again.
thanks for having
Thanks.
us.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was certainly
That
fun.
was fun.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh my gosh.
Did you learn a
totally.
lot?
Yeah, they're wonderful, heartwarming people, and they came off very real. And again, like when you think of swinger, you think like 70s, like hippie dude.
Sure.
That's what I picture.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
no,
they're
they
real people.
They look nice. They look
and they
like you
host
said, normal.
under 35s. Well, could we get in there? Barely.